Hello, friends. How are you? Let's do our quick check. I'm not sure who's here or how this is working, but if we can do a quick check and let me know if you can hear me. First thing I need to do is just check and then make sure that you guys can hear me and we're good to go. So I don't know how quiet it'll be tonight because I know that there is a class going on um, tonight for a big event. So let's see. You can hear me? Yay! Hi, Julie. How are you? Hello, Michelle. How are you guys? Hello, Jennifer. Julie, Stephanie. Hi, you can hear me. Good, because I switched the mics from my laptop to my phone and I wanted to make sure we were good. So how you guys doing tonight? Yay, lots of you here. I wasn't sure how tonight would go because Summer in a class with Cropping Crates card event is on this weekend. So I know that Kathy Z was doing a class tonight and they had their keynote speaker, who is Jennifer McGuire. So that's very exciting for all my card making friends might be there. So I wasn't sure it's going to be quiet tonight, but I'm happy for all of you guys that are here and excited to do something creative. Because I know that I freaked people out when I said that I had a heavy heart. It's just the world. It's nothing bad has happened to me personally. It's just I feel a little empathetic, like sucking in the negative that's out there. And it's just has made me a little sad this week, but not now. I'm happy that we're here. Hello, Diana and Laura and Deb. Very happy to see you guys. Hello, Elaine. How are you? How's everybody doing? How was your week? How's the weather where you are? I will be so happy when it gets warmer because it is frigid here today. It is really, really stinking cold. So I had to turn the heat up, which at my place or my time in life, I usually like it pretty cold in the house. But today I'm like, we need a little heat on because it's actually freezing. The positive is here with you in this great community. Thank you very much. I'm really glad that you guys are here. I know there's lots of newbies, so that's very exciting. That if you're finding us for the first time, very exciting. And let me know where you're watching from too, so I can see it on my screen. But make sure that you comment, and if you haven't already, thumbs up and like the video, and make sure you're subscribing if you're on YouTube, and that you're following if you're on Facebook, because then you will see the alerts when I go live, and that's lots of fun. So if you follow me at all on Instagram, I finally got to start my dream box, which is the contained scrap room that is in a fold out box that comes from a company called Crate Room, and very excited. I had to stop filming because then I'm like, okay, now I'm at the point where I really have to do some planning because I need everything to fit where it needs to fit so I don't have to do it again. So I paused on the filming, and then I will start really organizing. So what are you saying, Charlotte? I'm the same. I've been doing good throughout COVID, but this week it hit me. It's tough, right? It's a tough week. It's just with COVID and other things that are going on in the world. It's very hard. Hello, my friend Janice. Anybody's birthday this week? Did anyone celebrate a birthday? I'd love to say happy birthday. If you guys have, I want to make sure I don't miss it as I ask you that. And then I don't want to miss if you said, yes, it was my birthday, and then I asked you, and then I don't say happy birthday. It was my dad's birthday last weekend, and it was my son's 20th. Cry over that. 20 years old. I don't know how that happened, but he turned 20 this year. So that was crazy on St. Patrick's Day. And happy birthday. I see one birthday. Happy birthday. And yay, Denise got vaccinated. She's all done. Good for you. That's very exciting. My mom got hers this week, and my dad is booked for his in April. Yes, Patty, exactly. Just it's hard to take a lot of what's going on around the world, and this is all I have to say is just if everyone just led with kindness, I just think the whole world would be a better place. We don't all have to agree. You can have a difference opinion, but I don't know when that became having a difference of opinion became such a hateful thing. So I just think lead with compassion and kindness. So that's my soapbox moment for tonight. That's all I'm going to say. But I'm good. A lot of you were concerned because I posted that my heart was heavy, and then my mother called and people were concerned that I wasn't okay. I'm okay. I'm good. It's been a very busy time lately, so I feel a little weary. But the art and spending time with you guys on a Friday night is always good. And I'm excited tonight because I pulled out some Distress Inks while I was working on my dream box. I was watching Tim on my TV. So Tim Holtz playing with his Distress Inks. And I was like, oh, I love that idea. So some of the things he was doing just reminded me with some of the kissing technique that we're going to play with tonight. So we'll do some backgrounds. And I cut my new cut file that I shared. If you guys didn't see it yet, I did post it on the link or the comments here, or description, pardon me, is what I'm trying to say. But I will put it in the post as well. So I printed it or cut it smaller because I'm going to do a card tonight and a tag. I also have some flower stamps out tonight. So, because I know a lot of you are concerned that the cut files, if you don't have a die cutting machine, that how do you participate? But like I said, it's the one thing I can do that I can offer for free, that I don't have to ship, that you guys, if you have access to a cutting machine, you can use. So I'm sad that some of you can't partake, but in the same breath, it's the one thing I can do that I can offer everybody for free. So that makes me excited because I love, it's like your what do you say? Your favor. It's the little favor I give you for attending my event. So hang out with me, and then I give you a cute little cut file. Like I say, when you can afford to get a die cut machine, or if it's something that you want to budget for, I don't think you will regret it when it comes time to do that. And again, I don't think you can go wrong with any of the electronic cutting machines. You can get a Silhouette, you can get a Cricut, you can get a Brother Scan and Cut. I don't think you'll be disappointed. All of them, there's a learning curve, but once you figure it out, and I'm not very good at it. I know how to do the basics. I can cut what I need to, and I'm happy. So yes, and Arlene was saying she's fussy cutting hers right now because some can print it. But like I said, it's the one thing I can do that offer for free, but I will give you another solution tonight by using some flower stamps. So just grab a flower stamp, and we're going to also make a mask, meaning stamp it on a sheet of printer paper or a sticky note, something thinner, and you'll want to cut the same image out as well so we can mask and stamp multiples so we can make our own little floral flourish. That was a mouthful. Our own little floral flourish that we can use as well. So let's see, downloaded the gorgeous cut file. Yay, very excited about that. You love your scan and cut. I think it is awesome. And Natalie is here tonight. Thank you, Natalie, for always helping us out. I did link the cut file. I'm sure Nat might share it as well if you guys aren't sure. But a cut file, what it is, pretty much is just an electronic file. I draw them and then upload it onto vickybooten.com. And there's a whole whack of free cut files there. And then you just download it into an electronic cutter, and it cuts it out with a little blade. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's what the cut file is. But some people will print them out. You can just download it, the file, and you can print it out. You could doodle flowers. You don't have to have a die cutting machine to play along, especially tonight for the backgrounds and stuff we're doing. Just do what you can, and just come and share a little bit of creative time with us, because that for me is the biggest part. And I feel like it's the lifesaver for me, is just doing a little bit of playful art technique and taking some time for yourself to get creative. Hi, Jess. How are you? Hi, Amy. So happy to have you guys here, and love when my friends that I can't see in person show up to say hi. It's very exciting. Hi, Cynthia. So great to see a lot of you guys. So I feel like we've waited for people to jump on, and now let's get started tonight. Not a lot of preamble. Oh, and one thing, I have got a few emails for when I'm shipping items out that aren't part of the kits that I sell, but maybe just some of the items that you've ordered on vickyboutin.com, and I'm shipping tomorrow. So I will be making a trip to drop off some US stuff, and the Canadian stuff will ship tomorrow. Not color study yet, because I think the rest of it will arrive on Thursday, and then I have to make the class. So a lot of work ahead of me, but it will be fun. And I'm very excited as well that you guys are here. I love the company, no matter what you're doing. Like Dawn was just saying, that even if she isn't playing along, she just likes the company while she's cleaning or doing whatever else she's doing. So it's fun. And Ola from Puerto Rico, happy to have you here. And happy for scrapbook.com to be here, always super supporter. So thanks for joining as well. And I owe you an email. I did see that you responded to my email, and I will respond because I believe it's Cody, right? It might be Laura, but I think it's Cody. Anyway, let's flip the camera now that I have my fancy setup, that it's all set up to go, and I'll flip the camera around and we'll get started. So let me, hopefully I do it right? The first time. So did I do it? Yay! I did it correctly. And then I will bring my laptop closer so that I can see your comments. Hi guys, so happy to have you all here tonight. Not playing tonight, but you're keeping me company. I love it, Michelle. I'll take you any way I can get you, right? I'm always happy to have you guys here in whatever fashion. Sorry, it's a little loud till I put my laptop down. In whatever fashion I can get you, I will take you. So tonight, I have prepped a little bit, but not everything. I hope you have your beverage of choice and your stuff ready. And like I said, even if you can just, you're just popping on to say hello tonight, but you can't play, or you're going to play tomorrow, or you're doing something else while you're here, that's fine. I love when you're here and just keep me company. So even if you can't make tonight, I will be very happy to have you just join in. Hello, Obed. Nice to see you as well. So this week sucked for you too. Irene, I'm sorry about that. Let's put it behind us now, right? We'll put it behind us, and let's just do something creative for ourselves tonight. So my thought, after being inspired by Mr. Holtz, as he always does inspire me, and these products are always a super inspiration, I thought what I would do tonight is similar to what we did last week in a card. So I have the new Cutfile cut out, and I'm going to do a similar technique. We're going to make a background, and then we're going to glue the Cutfile down, and I'm going to paint in it, but I have a different idea for tonight. And then as well, I just have a couple of flower stamps here that I'm going to give you an alternative, so I don't want anyone to feel left out if they don't have access to an electronic cutter. So to start, we are going to cut. You know what? I just got ink all over. Sorry about that. And I need to grab some paper towels, which are right beside me. Just a second. Your son has his face squished up to the screen on your phone. I love it. I love that cute little boy. Just let me grab some paper towels because I have ink on my hand. Okay. I use the same paper towels. So I have a whole bin of them. Is anyone like that? I don't like to feel super wasteful. So I will just let them dry out, and I use them again and again. These ones look clean, but they were wet when I cleaned something off, and then I just put them back in there. So here we go. How big did you cut your flower? 6.2, I think, because my card size is going to be a 5x7. So I cut my die cut 6.2. And I'm going to do some backgrounds and then cut from this. That's what I decided, because then I can make a few things and it won't take as long. So I'm going to do the kissing technique with the Distress ink on the background, so we can kiss into the ink. We can place the ink on here, and then we'll cut what we need out and do the next step. So I also created a card base that I'll try not to get ink on, because I will cut out my mixed media, layer it on top with the Cutfile, which fits. This is cut to 5x7, and the I just forgot what it was called. The Cutfile at 6.2-ish worked. And it's tricky. I tried to, like, Natalie had created the Cutfile for my drawing for me in the different file formats. And I had a lot more detail on here, and I ended up taking it out because I'm like, when you shrink it down, I don't know how everybody else's blade cuts, but my blade can be a little finicky. And I just thought it's going to be too tricky to cut that size. You finally found and bought the Storyteller tag book and can't wait to build it with the 6-hour live. Yes, 6 hours. It was crazy, but it's how my classes roll, right? If I have a lot to share, I'm going to share it, and I'll just stay there until it's done. But it's pretty much how I create. I will sit and just make and make and make until I'm too tired to do it anymore. So yes, I'm going to get started. Hello, Adam. How are you in England? I hope the weather is nicer there for you than it is here. So my plan is I'm going to do some layering. We're going to use Distress ink, and then I'm going to paint with the oxide ink. So I might also tap a little bit of oxide on here as well, but for sure I'm going to go in and paint tonight with the oxides because they're more opaque, where these are more translucent, and these will be great for layering and making new colors. And then we can go in and paint with the oxides. So that's my plan. So let's get going. I have my full background because then I can cut what I need out of it. So I'm going to start doing some Distress ink. We can layer it on with a sheet of plastic. And even though I have my craft mat here and I could do it right on here, I also have a sheet of plastic, the cover for my foundations pad, that I can also use to press into the inks. So I very much enjoyed Mr. Holtz does his Q&A and little mini classes really on Saturdays on YouTube. And I was watching it today, the one he did on Distress ink and oxides, and I was inspired. So let's go ahead and play with it and make a card. Is anyone playing along with me tonight? What colors do you have out? Stacy, I have, and we'll see at this point, Salty Ocean. I have Evergreen Bough, Fossilized Amber, and Picked Raspberry. And these are all in regular distress. The other ones that I've pulled out, but I'm not sure if I'm going to use yet or not, are Broken China Oxide, Mermaid Lagoon Oxide, Kitsch Flamingo Oxide, and Fossilized Amber Oxide. Not sure if I'm going to use those, but I grabbed them. The other thing that I have, because this is what I'm going to color my flowers in tonight, are orange, because I think they'll contrast with these colors, some different orange colors. I have Carved Pumpkin, Crackling Campfire, Spice Marmalade, and Wild Honey, all in oxide. This part is important, whatever color you want to paint your flowers. I will have to grab a green. I didn't get that yet, but we'll get it once we start going. But this is kind of my palette. You can use whatever you like. It's just fun if you have them to mix your oxides and regular distress. Okay. So yes, I'm using all of the things, but I think this will be a fun palette to do our background in. And then the orange will contrast really well when I want to paint in top. Not too many know what song. Was I singing, Kylie, or was somebody else singing? Because I could have been singing something. There's always some kind of elevator music going on in my head. So let's start by doing it on either your nonstick craft mat or sheet of plastic. That's why I don't throw away a lot of these covers from the foundations paper, because it works as a great tool as well, and it's quick cleanup. So I'm going to go ahead and just kiss some of these onto the background. And, you know, let's see how it goes working with something this big, because sometimes when we work with 12 by 12, right, it's a lot to handle. But then see, when we kiss, we'll see how it goes. If you find this is too big, cut it in half and maybe work in 6 by 12. I'll see how it goes. And if I need to cut it down, I will. But let's do the things. So I'm going to go in with this color palette. I think the Evergreen Bough will be nice. Again, in Distress inks, because they are dye ink and they're more translucent. So we will get a really nice effect with these. And I'm just going to tap some down onto my sheet of plastic. So far Evergreen Bough, and I have some Salty Ocean, and let's do some Picked Raspberry and some Fossilized Amber. And we'll see what we get, and we can add if we want to. The other thing you're going to need is a mister. So I'm going to put lots of water down on here so we can make this nice and fluid, and then just start kind of kissing into it. So I have my foundations paper, which if you are new here, it's just a very heavy white card. That's great for mixed media, so we won't have too much buckling. I do also have a heat gun set up, so I can dry the ink in between as we're layering. And what is Carly saying? You're playing, whatever you have is great. Play with the colors you have. It's totally fine. So I'm going to start just kind of kissing into this and see what we get. Oh, it's so pretty. And I'm all right with if I make a little bit of mud tonight. Look at that already. So let's move this aside for a second. Take my paper towel because I already made a little bit of a mess. And I'm going to put a little bit of water on my background. I'm going to pick up some of the mud that I collected here. So just going to pick up some of that because I can layer on top. Just where it kind of soaked together, right? I got a little bit of muck. And I'm going to dry this, and I am going to do another layer. Build layers, we need to draw between the layers. Sorry, I'm pulling my charger cord. I don't want to rip my camera off. And I'm going to just start to dry this, and I'm going to go in and kiss some more color on here. Just picking up some of that mud. We don't have to dry this to bake, but we want it to be not soaking wet because it's going to be hard to layer some more color on here. If you do wet on wet, it's going to blend. If we do wet on dry, it's going to start to layer, okay? And I'm just picking up the extra water. But right, we have to start somewhere. So we are going to just start layering, and you can, if you don't want to kiss into it because you're going in blind, and I'm going to pick up somewhere it pulled and made a little bit of mud. I'm going to pick that up, and I'm going to add some more water. And now I'm going to take this and I'm going to kiss it into my background so that I can layer more, but I can control maybe where the pigment's going. Okay, love it. You can leave it exactly as it is. You can pick up any color that maybe you don't like the new color that was created. You can add a little bit of water so it starts to blend around. And we'll dry this layer. And then the other thing that will be fun is I'm going to go in now with a smaller sheet of plastic after I add one more layer of this color down. And then I'm going to go in with a smaller sheet of plastic because then I can kind of control now as we start to build the pattern onto this pattern. And I'm going to pick up some of that just because I have no patience. I love my Distress inks. We talk about this every time we use Distress, that a lot of people don't buy the Distress ink anymore, that they go towards the oxides just because they kind of like the creaminess of the oxide. But I still love my Distress inks. I'm just buckling the paper so I can get that warping out. I'm going to add a little bit more water, and I'm going to kiss what's left on this mat into maybe over here. Let's turn it and get some of that color in the yellow. And I'm going to just tap some of that on. See what we get. I can see a little bit of mud there, but we'll clean that up. It's not too bad. Let's pick that up before I even start drying it. Just layer, 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 friends. Start to make a really pretty background, and we're just going to keep building on this. You love them both so much. So do I, Maureen. I feel like you need both, right? You need to have the oxides for their the opacity of them and the layerability, but you need to have the distress inks because of the beautiful new color combinations that you can make when they blend together. And I was very inspired by Tim because a lot of times I will go very clean and like the rainbow effect, but I am channeling a little bit more tonight. Just, hey, let's just go with it and see what we get. And loving the effect already, right? So how's it going out there? How's everybody doing? If you're playing along, curious to know how it's going. Are you new to Distress Ink? Have you been using it for a long time? Would love to know. I wouldn't have thrown up my original Distress if I hadn't watched some of these videos with you, Vic. I would have thrown out. Yes, you need them. Like they just do a whole different thing. So I lied. I still see some more ink on here. I'm going to use it. A whole different thing than the oxides do. You need them both. I love my regular Distress. I love the oxides as well, but I am still like a major lover of Distress ink. Like, see, that's the magic. You don't get rid of what's left on your sheet of plastic because as the moisture goes, you just get those little polka dots of color and they're kind of magical. So I'm going to go in here, dry this a little bit, and then I'm going to take my smaller sheet and then start adding in a little bit of pigment and some things that I learned from the master. Tim will talk about tonight as well. Because I would like some more pink on here. I would like to introduce some more pink in here. So I'm going to go in just with some, maybe, because down in here there's not a lot of yellow. I'm just going to go on my plastic sheet now where I'm going to start adding with just some fossilized amber and a little bit of picked raspberry. And you'll see as well, like when Tim works, he works in a lot of smaller size. But a lot of you guys here that follow me are scrapbookers, right? Or work in 12 by 12. So what I find is helpful is instead of going in blindly and flipping your project into the ink, I like to put it on a sheet of plastic and deliver it onto the paper so I can really be in control of placement. So do whatever makes you happy. Whatever's working for you. But I find now that I kind of have this base that was random, I want to go in here and add, like I'm going to work on a little bit of this mud area. But I love that we're doing 12 by 12 and then we can cut out of here exactly the surface that we want to work on later. And this will be great for week 4, right? Because next week will be week 3. Am I correct? Yes, right? No, next week will be week 4. Is that the last week? I'm all messed up. I don't even know where we are in March. But yes, working in the 12 by 12 will be fun. And now I'm trying to read your comments, so I don't want to get all messed up. Let me see what, because I asked you a question. Now let me see. Your pink was scheduled to be delivered today, but wasn't. I'm sorry, Lauren. That's never fun. I'm always playing. It's nice to watch tonight. Nice. Yes. Sometimes, right? Just relax. Kick up your feet with your cup of tea or your glass of wine and just hang out with me. I love it. I just bought a couple of oxides at Michael's last week. I already had a couple of Distress inks for inking. And you'll find, Charlotte, I really, really believe that once you kind of get into using these inks, you're just going to keep adding to your collection. So see, lots of water on here. And now I'm going to flip it and just kind of kiss some pigment in here. Make some new colors, lay some of those dots on top, maybe down in here as well. It made a really pretty salmon color too. And let's go ahead and start drying that. I'm going to pick up a little bit of that pigment. Very pretty. Would the Distress Spray ink work if the spray? Yes, Stephanie, it should. It's the same product. It's just in liquid form. If you have the sprays and not the ink pads, give it a try, right? Look at you embracing the chaos. Yes, I do this, Dawn. I do this, Dawn, but a lot of times because the projects that we're making are so specific that sometimes I don't get into the mad, crazy color palette, but I'm totally digging this tonight. And then I'm going to do a little bit of watermarking in that section. So I'm just spraying a little bit of water and I'm just going to break up this solid area right here and maybe even in here a little bit. So because these are water reactive and they will push the pigment away, if I want to add a little bit of lightness into some of these solid areas, you can also go in with the water. You don't have to go in with pigment. So I'm doing a little bit of that and I'm going to pick it up because I want to actually remove some of the color and then we'll go in with another color. So I'm letting it just kind of marinate and then I'm going to go in with my paper towel and I'm going to pick up some of that water and just kind of lighten and add some more dots into my background. So do you see what happened there? These are magical inks. So let's take some of that out and then we'll just keep layering because it is quite wild for me. Who doesn't like to kiss, right? And sorry if I'm missing any of your comments. And I will take you anytime I can get you, Danelle. If you can't be here right at 8, it's all fine. Right? A lot of people I know already messaged me, which I love you guys, that if you're watching after the fact that you feel bad if you're not going to be here and wanted to let me know. So I didn't think that you were just MIA. So thank you for that. But it is okay. I know you will get here when you can. I'm going to go in again with some picked raspberry, but look, I'm going crazy now. I'm going to put it right on my mat. And I'm going to spray some water into it. We are going to move it around so it's not just a block of color. And let's go in there again because I want lots of pink on here. And let's kind of kiss into it. Oh, so pretty. Oh, I love that. And I'm going to clean that up. Actually, watch. I'm going to pick some of it up with my plastic that I already had, just so I'm not wasting all that pigment. Okay, set that aside and let's wipe that up. You go with whatever color palette is working for you tonight, right? You're wild now. I know. I'm just getting crazy. I told you I needed this tonight, Kylie. I told my husband, I'm tired tonight. I was having a hard time because there's a lot going on work-wise. I've been very busy. I was writing instructions, which for anyone out there who does that, it is the bane of my existence. I love making projects. I hate writing the instructions, but it is important, right? So I had to get my class project done, which I'm going to give you a little sneak peek. Is anyone out here tonight at the Crop and Create event? The spring event? The scrapbooking one? Because some of you, if you're at the card event, you shouldn't be here right now. You should be at your card event. But let me, wild, wonderful, and amazing, just like you, Jana Millen. Thank you. I'm loving this, right? This to me is the most relaxing thing. Like I would totally tell you guys, if you do not own Distress Inks, that start every time you got a few bucks or you have a coupon to use or somebody has a sale. Scrapbook.com I think has a whole bunch of stamping stuff. If you're still out there, scrapbook.com. Did that start? I think there's like a stamping sale right now. Keep adding to your stash. Like people will say, what color do I need? And I'm like, well, in my opinion, all the colors. So start with your favorites and then go from there. So anybody who is taking or coming to the event, look at what I finished. Instructions are done and everything. So here's the new album for Crop and Create. It's going to be very, very pretty. So a little peek. So this is what we are going to be doing. It's so pretty and neutral. It's going to work with any photos that you want to put in here. But this is the album for Crop and Create. So if you guys, I probably just put pink on it. If you are at that event with me, you just got the first sneak peek. So, and that is, the event sold out. So sorry, friends, but when my other kits come out, it's the same kind of idea, right? I do a lot of those albums, but that will be fun. So you love Crop and Create and can't wait? Yeah, it's going to be fun. It'll be a fun album because that's only a 3-hour class. So we have to kind of rein in the amount we can put in those albums, right? So I still have what's left on here. Let's put a couple of, I don't want to go into that yellow. I'm going to keep my pink here, but I just want those pink dots, and I'm not going to dry it. I'm going to keep working, but I just want to layer those dark dots on here. And guess what I'm going in with now? A little Salty Ocean. And I'm going to put it maybe in some Evergreen Bough, just those two colors. Let's go in there with some Evergreen Bough and some Salty Ocean. And I have to go shopping actually for some Distress too, because guess what, friends? I've lost a whole bunch of my ink pads. The regular Distress, I've put them somewhere. I don't know where they are. So I need to go shopping for some Distress as well. Hello, Angie. How are you? I'm just coming on and want to work on this. Can I please have the order of colors that went down? Suzanne, literally all of the colors went down. And now I'm just layering. Salty Ocean, Evergreen Bough, Fossilized Amber, and Picked Raspberry. And anybody out there watching tonight will tell you, Vicki is going crazy. Crazy. I just thrown the colors on. This is no rhyme or reason. We're just layering, layering, layering. What are you asking me, Natalie? What classes? Which classes? Well, I worked on that one, and Disney album is done. I don't know if this is what you're asking, but I'm just going to keep talking. I'm going to mix this up a little bit, okay? I'm going to mix in a little bit too. Wipe my fingers and just break up that blue so we don't have one big solid mess of blue. So I've been working on a ton of class stuff, and then I have a ton of class stuff to work on. Amy Tan is in the house, but not all of it. I have some Jen Hatfield in the house. There's a whole bunch of stuff that is in the house. But of course, oh, look at that. Nothing I have is complete. Everything that has been delivered, there is not one kit or product line for any of the kits that I'm working on that has come complete. So I have a big delivery coming on Thursday, and I'm hoping that everything will be in there and I can start doing the samples and get those kits up on the shop, but nothing is complete. It's all over the place. Hi, Angie. I wish I was hugging you in person. The one I just showed, yes, was for Crop and Create, the April event. Crop and Create delivered. So I just finished it and sent the instructions off today. So that's why I'm sharing that with you. Oh, question's not for you. I'm trying to answer for someone. So yes, that album I just showed is a sold out class. It's for Crop and Create. That I'm just sharing for the people who will have it. Do I have gold glaze? I do, Julie. But here's the other thing. I have not had time to add anything into my website. Rich and I are going to inventory everything this weekend so that we can, once I get some of these orders out and figure out what's going on with the color study, then I'll add. I have pretty much everything is restocked. I have a ton of new stamps I'm going to be adding. I have tools that I'm going to be adding. Do you ever, where was the question? Do I what? Would you get the same effect if you used a jelly plate? No, Angela, totally different because jelly plate is lots of pressure, where this is, we can use very light pressure. So different. It would be beautiful, but it wouldn't be the same effect of this because of the water. It's pretty much the water that does it magically. Do you ever do crop and create virtually? I teach at all of them, if that's what you're asking, just not the card one, because obviously I'm not a card master, if you guys have followed me for a long time. But yes, I do. I teach at on virtually with all of the crop and creates. Wait, you just shared a sneak of crop and create? Darn it, I was washing my plate. I'll do it again for you quickly, Carrie. This is the album we're making. It's beautiful. It's going to be the brand new, some of the new Heidi Swap and Maggie Holmes crepe paper. So it's very pretty, very neutral. I love how this turned out. It's going to be a lot of fun. Lots of interactive bits. So if you like this, any of the kits, anytime you see one of my albums go for sale on VickyBooten.com, this is pretty much what we do. I love mini books. Like, I can never get enough of the mini book. I'm going to go in with more blue on here because I really want to go in with some of that Salty Ocean. Hi guys, finally made it. Hello Pamela, how are you? Hi Kim. It'll be fun. We always have fun, and you know I love teaching the mini books. So I'm going in with some Salty Ocean up in this section up here. Lots of water. I am going to tap it in instead of kissing into it. I'm going to go right off to the edge in case I want to do that. Like I said, we are working with a much bigger surface area than you would with a card or tag. I am layering it on pretty thick, but I am going to go in there. See, and when you just kiss the little dots in, you won't get the mud that I'm getting when it's very wet up here. And I can also pick it up and move it around. Yeah, hi, honey. How'd your exam go?
I know I lied, but I did really good.
Oh, I
knew everything.
Very proud of you. Well. Say congratulations to Riley. He wrote an exam tonight, and you just heard him. He did very well. I'm very proud of you.
Okay, bye. Love you.
Love you too, honey. I love that my 20-year-old still says that he loves me. I will take it all day long. So yes, when you watch me, guys, you know that it's in the Booten house. So like I always say, if you want perfect and polished, you don't watch my lives or my videos, because it is from the home of the Bootens. So anybody could come and talk to us while we're doing it. And that's okay. If it's not for you, you have so many other options these days online, right? So many of my friends offering awesome content out there. Okay, so see how dark this area is up here? I'm not going to take that away. I have an idea. I'm going to go over a little bit more of this in the blue. And then when we cut this apart, I'm going to show you something. I have an idea. Let's see if it works. So I'm going to go in and kiss a little bit more blue and a couple more layers of blue on there. And then I'm going to show you. Thank you for the belated happy birthdays for him too. He is a very, very good boy. But I love that he came down to tell me, because he told me when he was starting it, when I was playing with my scrap room down here and cleaning up and doing some stuff. And he's like, just coming down to tell you, I'm going to start my exam and I'm going to be at it for a couple of hours. And I said, okay, buddy, you know where I'll be, right here. So see, I went really lightly. I kissed that really lightly. I want these kind of pretty little dots. So it's kind of under the sea over in that corner, isn't it? Love that. Love what's going on right here. Oh my goodness. Let's try that. Hello, Jordan. How are you? I haven't seen you for a while, have I? Or have you been here and I just haven't seen your comments? Welcome, my sweet friend. Yeah, it is pretty real what you're getting here, sometimes to a fault. But I don't know how else to do it, right? It's a pretty genuine, just hang out with Vicky. So I have this idea up here and we're going to see how it goes. Because tonight is pretty random. I'm hoping that my initial idea is going to work. But now that I'm enjoying what's happening here, we could be going down a whole different path. We may be taking a whole different path. I want to pick up that extra water. Totally digging this right there. I might throw a little bit of evergreen bough. I might make a new color though. Look at me. I might do a lot of things tonight. You can't wait to see what I make into cards, right? Kiss it like it's the rock is one of your favorite Vicky-isms, right? And we do that when there's not very much water on here. We kiss it like it's the rock. That means you don't kiss it like it's your abuela or your nona or your grandma, because she's frail and you have to be gentle. So that's when we just lightly tap it on there. But when we're going to kiss it like it's the rock, let's blend this and make a new color out of these two. Kind of a tealy color that's going to go on there. Then we give her. Yes, I want to do cards. We're doing cards tonight. Tonight is a card and tag kind of night. But I want to mix a little bit of pigment in there because it's all very blue. So let's put a little bit of this teal business in there from those two colors. I'm going to carry these little dots down. And kind of polka dot it around. That's what it's all about. Okay, and dry that. And then I'm going to show you what my idea is, and we're going to hope that it works. I have this idea in my head. But that's what Friday nights are about, right? Is that we just come in here and play, and let's see what we get. Because that's kind of where the magic, I find, happens. I'm taking a little bit of that moisture up because it's very wet. I made a little bit of dirt. There's a little bit of mud going on in this section over here, but we'll see what happens. I love Distress Ink. It is my favoriteest thing. It is super fun, isn't it, friends? And that's what I say. Just start collecting it until you have a palette. Like if you're just starting out, I would just stick with, when you start, maybe some blues and greens and then add into your rainbow. But I find that it's a lot of fun when you have colors that can work together and won't create mud because it's so wet. Look at how fun that is. Look at all those layers and layers and layers of yumminess. I'm just going to keep playing. I hope you guys are okay with that. I'm just going to keep layering on here until I'm ready. You've got some mud too. And that'll be, I think it's going to be okay, Krista. There's sections in here, like right here where the green went with the pink is where we got mud. The blue and pink would be fine because we get purple. But it's where the green went with the pink, got a little bit of mud. But I'm all right. I'm going to embrace the mud. We're going to embrace the muck tonight. So let's see. Let's add, what do we have here? I'm going to go in with some more fossilized amber. We're going to put some yellow. Not everywhere. I'm going to leave this area the way it is. I feel like for right now, this is going to be done. But I'm going to add some more yellow and pinks in here. Because if we do that, but I'm going to go in individually. But I really love the green that I got down here, which was probably the, maybe I'm going to do that. I lied. I'm going to go in with some fossilized amber and evergreen bough, and we're going to play up this green section. Hi, Carrie. How are you? It looks three-dimensional because of all the layers, dots, 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 and dry, dry, dry between it, right? Between your layers. Does the archival ink work anything like Distress Ink? Not at all, April Lynn. Not at all. It's meant to be a permanent ink where these are reactive with water and water soluble, where archival is a permanent stamping ink. It is a beautiful stamping ink, but it will not do what you see here. Yeah, you won't get that effect. See how much water's on there? So let's do a little bit of this. Okay, but I'm going to still leave some of the polka dots. It is a stamping ink. Okay. Hopefully that helped you. Ooh, look at, I just whipped that right across my page. But let's throw some of that down in here. I'm going to blend it in with the pink a little bit too, because we can. because pink and yellow will make a pretty orange color. I'm going to put it in here a little bit too, just a couple of those dots that are remaining. Oh, love that. And it's eating in my purple and making this really pretty salmony orange deliciousness. But I'm going to play up this green in the bottom corner before I go in with the pink. I hope that was helpful. And it is one of those things, because literally, my friends, I own probably, I've been doing this for 20 years. I probably own, I don't know how many different kinds of inks. I have archival, Ranger archival. I own the whole set, a whole set of some other permanent ink. I have, I'm looking behind me, I have Hero Arts inks. I have Gina K inks. I have all the Distress inks, everything. I have everything Distress, paints, inks, all of it, because I love it and I've been collecting for a long time. But you started with oxides. I need to get the Distress inks. Yes. And then, like I said, you don't need to start by going and spending a fortune and buying all of them. Start with the colors. Like, I think some greens, some yellow, blue is a good place to start. I just think that is, now I know other people would tell you to go into the browns and stuff, but I probably hardly ever use that. Not my cup of tea, right? So definitely you pick the palette that you know works best for you. Okay. Like I said, that wouldn't be my thing, but I know for a lot of the ladies out here love the earthy tones. I am not that person. Hello, Dorian. How are you? So the one thing I am noticing as well with my evergreen bow and my fossilized amber, I am getting a little bit muddier color than I normally would like, because I think that amber has a little bit of red in it. It is not a true yellow. It's probably more along the orange line. So I'm not going to mess too much with that, because that's where I'm getting my dirt. Because there's probably a little bit of like a orangey color in here. So when I put it with my evergreen bow, I find I'm not getting a nice, well, not a nice, the color combo I would like out of these two colors, because this is a little earthier. So I'm getting like a really pretty moss green, but it's not the color I want. Okay, so just kind of play. I buy a lot of the mini ink pads, are great, right? It's a great, I buy both because I like the minis, but I like my full size ink pads. But yes, definitely, you do whatever works for you, right? That's what I'm always like when people say, what color should I buy? I'm like, whatever color you like, what do you gravitate towards mostly? I started collecting them a long time ago, and every time I went shopping, I would just pick up a couple of back then was just regular Distress, just a couple of Distress pads. And then, so I'm going to add a little pink in there, because see, a little bit of mud is going on. And look what I'm going to do. I'm going to blend a little bit of that with some water, and I'm going to pick it up and take that and lighten that a bit. Oh my goodness, look how pretty that is, friends. That just softened that up. It's beautiful. It looks like Easter. Oh my goodness, I love that. And I threw some ink across here earlier. And there's no reason we can't go on here and kiss some more color into it. But do you see what happened there by just throwing some water on? It just took the strength of the pattern down a little bit, right? It softened it. Oh, I love this background. And I'm going to show you what we're going to do up in here. We're going to do something magical. Well, because we're playing tonight. We're just playing all over. So what I'm going to do in this section, guess what I'm going to go in? I'm going to go in with Evergreen Bow. Sec here. Evergreen Bow. Doo-doo. And I'm going to take one of my ink blending tools. You like the big dribbles right in the middle? Me too. Love it. And I'm going to put some ink right into this section for the next thing I want to do. So I'm going to go, ooh, loving it. So I'm going to ink on top. I'm not going to add it in a wet layer. I'm going to add some full-on ink on top of the section we have here. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to do in a little. On my pink, because I'll make some mud. But when I cut this section out, I have an idea. So let's put a little bit of depth. I'm going to still put some drips on top of that, but look, I'll show you. We're going to get there. Okay, let's dry that. Don't forget, I'm cutting this all apart. So if some of you are looking at it and going, whoa, this is not what Vicky would normally be making. It looks like a unicorn vomited all over her page. It is not all going to stay like this. I'm just kind of working on one big section and then we'll cut it apart. And Jordan, you asked, this is an ink stand. It is a new product from one of our friends that are always here with us, but not tonight because she is at Crop and Crate card event. It is called the ink stand. You can get them. I think they went live if they're still there on Etsy. And it is Brianna Loveland, right? Unicorn vomit. It does, right? Unicorn vomit. But I'll show you. Want to see what's going to happen here? What my idea is? So what can we pick? Let's go in with this loveliness from, I think this is scrapbook.com stencil. And I'm going to show you. So what my idea with this is that I need to hold it down. So maybe, let's see, can I make it? I need a more solid stencil. We'll go with this one. So I'm going to put water on my stencil. And I'm going to press it into this area with a paper towel. And let's see what kind of magic we can get to happen here. The word of the day, unicorn vomit, right? Yes, the inkstand shop on Etsy. Gross. No, Diane, it's not. It's yummy. It's like Skittles of all the flavors. So let's see. What do we get? A hot mess or, oh, it's so pretty. Let's pick up some of that and let's dry that. So this is definitely going to get cut out, and I'm going to tap a little bit more pigment on top. And we'll leave it. Isn't that fun, friends? See what happened there? So I went in with a wet stencil, and look at that prettiness that happened. Totally digging that, digging it. But now I took all the other pigment out, so let's just tap some fossilized amber with my paintbrush that I know I had out on my table, but now I don't know where I put it. So I'll just grab one. And just tap some pigment into that so it doesn't look so flat. So I'm going to tap, and then I'm going to also press my sheet of plastic into some of those taps so they're not all just the same size. Right? Ooh. Ooh. Oh, I love that. See? So tap it into those dots, hold it there for a second. Lift some of that pigment so it doesn't leave mud. Oh my goodness, magic just happened. Magic is happening right here. Love it. Let's dilute that paint a little bit more, or the ink a little bit more. Let's put some down here. Okay. So see what happens. Now you take your plastic, press it into your dots. They go into bigger dots, but not, oh, I kind of dig in that. Hot mess. Let's dry that and do another layer. You can play with this stuff forever and ever. Farm Life Called. Tell me what you had to do, Tina. I'm always very interested. So Farm Life Called. What did you have to go do on the farm? Very interested to hear this information. How did you get the color through the stencil? I didn't get any color through the stencil, Elisa. Is that how I say that? Elisa. I think I'm saying your name right. The water was on the stencil. So when I put the stencil down, those dark areas that you see are where no water went. That was the pigment that was already on my background that I then, by putting the stencil on top of it with the water, it diluted everything that was in contact with the stencil, and any of the areas in the open section of the stencil stayed dark. Does that make sense? And this is one of those things you really, 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 really need to just play with these inks to understand how they work. I'm totally digging what's going on here though, but we need a little bit more yellow going down in this section because it was so wet that I lost my pattern. Cleaning off my sheet of plastic. Let's see if I can kiss it and I can keep it the way I want it. Yes, there we go. And lift. Love it. Very fun, friends. That's very fun. Because if you're like, why did she keep going? I'll tell you why. Because after I did, and we'll do the stencil stamping again somewhere with a different pattern so I can show you what happened again. But what was going on here after I did the stencil stamping is it got a little muted, a little bit more muted around the edges. So layer some more ink. That's the magic with Distress Ink. Just throw some more on there. Be a little aware of your color palette unless you like it dark and dirty. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not judging you, right? If you like it to be a little darker, just keep with the darkness. Let's add some more up in this. Let's work up in this area now too. And what we can do as well, do you think it's clearer if I cut some of these pieces out when I do that next technique? Because maybe it will quiet the noise in the background. So I won't do any more of that kind of stencil stamping with water until I cut my sections out, because that might be helpful. Oh, and I missed, what was Tina doing when the farm called? Did I miss it? I want to know. A cow in trouble. You had to help pull a calf. Oh my goodness, Tina, that's freaking awesome. You got to see the miracle of life tonight. Very awesome, friends. Tell Tina, good job. Very impressed. I know for somebody, hi, Christine. Yo, Vicky, how's it going, girl? How you doing, girl? I'm good. How you doing? I love, okay, little break time. Get yourself a drink, whatever you need to do, stretch your legs. The most amazing thing about this community, especially when you guys take the time to comment and interact, like I think you get as much out of it as I do. Do you know what I mean? So if you're a lurker out there, and I see you lurkers, really interact with this group of women and guys, because we have a mix here. It's kind of magical. Like there are some real friendships that have developed out of all of this. And I have to say, if Tina wouldn't have said that, if she wouldn't have said, sorry, I'm back, had a farm emergency, we would never know that her farm emergency was literally delivering a baby, baby cow, a calf. I think that's awesome. The interaction is the best part. I love it. So thank you for the people who, some don't interact because it's not their cup of tea, and that's fine. You still can be my friend. And some are shy or don't know what to say, and maybe it's a language thing too. But I definitely do love this aspect of our Friday nights, is the interacting and getting to know you guys. Like a lot of you that chat, we know each other now, and I love that. The world would be a better place if everyone was here drinking the Kool-Aid. Yeah. I just think that I love it. I love when you guys join me. And I love what happened here, because it was kind of a hot mess. But now do you see that water kind of pooled all the ink, and look at the magic that happened? So I think we're going to do a little bit more of this. This is going to be a theme. But let's cut it apart now. Want to cut it apart so we can have definite pools of color. So some of this, we're going to leave the scraps and we are going to use them for our last, I don't even know where we are in the month. For some reason, we still have 2 more weeks, right? Next week, we're going to do kind of our junk journal, our Rolodex idea, but all our scraps as we move forward, we're going to keep because this is going to come back into play, excuse me, on the last week. So I'm going to start cutting some things out. So I know my card size to start is a 5x7. So I'm going to make sure one of the pieces I cut tonight is going to be a 6 3/4 by 4 3/4. So I'm going to cut that to start. Don't drink your paint water. No. I'm very excited. If you guys follow me at all, I can't tip it or I'll spill it, but I don't know if you can see that. In Canada here, we have no flavored Diet Pop. You just can't find it. And I stalked the guy from Coca-Cola who was stocking the shelves in Walmart because I saw this cherry Coke on his skid. And I went, how long is it going to take you to get to that section near the bottom? He said 15 minutes. So I went and did a quick walk around and then stood and watched him until he got to it and grabbed 2 cases. I didn't grab all the cases. I grabbed 2 cases because I'm sure somebody else out there in my area was very excited to find that pop here too. So I am enjoying that tonight. So I'm going to cut it. This section is what's going to go on the card. I just made that decision, I think. I'm going to cut this section and then we'll go from there. So got my paper cutter. I'm going to break this down. We're still going to keep playing on this, but I want to break down, right? I feel like I wish I knew like a rap song or something that went with that. I want to learn how to beatbox. You know, when you have like things that you would like to have a skill, that is one of the skills that I would like to really be able to beatbox. You have the blackberry one too. Me too, but I have only been able to see it in individual bottles, which are $2.50 here for just a small bottle. So was very excited when I got a case of pop with the cherry in it. I just drink Diet Coke. You're obsessed. And I gave it up, but since I am now low carb, I am quite happy to I'll drink 1 a day. I'll have 1 treat a day. We don't want to lose this. So I'm going to start cutting with this section here and let's decide, because that could be our tag tonight, right? So let me decide what size do we want that? What kind of work here? Let's do, this is about 4 1/4. I'm just going to cut this at 4 1/4. Now look, when you take all that other noise out, look how pretty that is. This might be our tag. We'll decide. I need to trim the top off because my paper has the little bits from where I tore it out of the pad. And then what size do we want this? We said 4 1/4. Well, we can do whatever we want, can't we? So why don't we do, I don't know, just cut really according to your pattern. And I'm going to do this. I'm cutting it at 6-ish. Might not have been, but look at, loving what's going on here. Loving that. Look when you cut it down, friends. This is like, if you have been following along and we did the month of February, the last little meeting that we had, our Friday Night Live, when we punched circles and punched it into different shapes. Really, really fun. So this one is going to be on my card. So I am going to do 4 3/4 for the width. And the height is going to be 6 3/4. And that's what's going to go. Did I do that right? I probably didn't, but I think I did. Kind of digging that right. And there's enough yellow. I might trim a little bit of that off just to make a little bit more of the yellow show through. there are so many things. You just watch. I'm going to show you some things that we can do. But that'll be pretty, right? That's going to make a pretty card base. And then we know for the card is going to be this. Is going to go on here. And I have some things I'm going to show you. But we're going to mute this background a little bit. So get ready for it. So this is going to be on here. And then we're going to stamp. I don't think I'm going to cut anything more out of this for now. We're going to save that for our last week. But did you see little magical things happen? If you are very much more a cleaner crafter, look at what you could do with this. Just watch. The last week is going to be fun. This will be a homework thing. I really think, look, I'm going to cut some more little strips out of this, that if you have free time this week or this weekend, make a bunch of these backgrounds. So when we come together again at the end of the month for our kind of artist choice, we can do something really fun. But do you see what I'm talking about? When you have something like this, and if you are like looking at what I made here and you're like, that's a hot mess, Vicky, it is not my style. This is when magic happens. When you take it and put it on a solid background, oh my goodness, can you see where my mind's going? How pretty is that? Really, so you know what's going to happen. Just be ready for it. Sewing machines again, and I'm going to do something really fun to make some backgrounds on week 4, the last week of March. So it's going to be fun. Because magic just happened right in front of me there. Right? Can you see it? Like having this kind of contained funk on those mix or plain backgrounds is the best way for some of you guys that are not into funky, crazy mixed media to do this and for it to fit into your style. So I love that. I'm telling you, that is how you have contained funk on your mixed media background. So we have this little doozy that's going to be background for my card, and I have ideas and I want to start, or we're never going to get to it. There's lots of things we could do here, but I have an idea, and it's going to have to go in the blue section. So I'm going to do that stencil kissing again on this so you can see how it's going to mute all the colors down. I feel like I have to grab another stencil though. Hello, Carmelita. How are you? You tried sewing and it was pinching through paper, so gave up and hand stitched. What do you mean it was pinching through the paper? I'd like to understand what that means, Robin. Get your bobbin prepared for the sewing machine. Yeah, I have to revisit what you guys told me I was doing wrong because I don't remember. Yes, but I will load the bobbin at least. So I'm going to beef up some of this blue. Let's go in there and we're going to beef it up with some Salty Ocean. I'm going to just wipe off this blending tool that doesn't have Salty Ocean on it. And then I'm just going to go in here. Because these aren't oxides, you totally can use the same ink blending tool. But I want to beef up some of this blue when we go to do that stencil kissing on top. So I'm going to just put a little bit of blue in here. So this magical thing I want to happen, not everywhere, but I just want a little bit of color on here. I'm not going to go into the pretty pink, but I am kind of putting it over top of the existing blue. And let's see what happens now. And I don't want to touch this because I love that. Okay. Now I'm going to get a big stencil. I have this one, but I think there's too much open area. The technique won't work. Do you see how there had like a lot of solid in here? That's what made this magical. This is too thin. So if you're doing this with me, you need to grab a stencil that has a good balance of open and closed area. I'm going to go grab something else. So give me a second. I'm right here. I just got to turn around. And remember, I was telling you guys, I'm a little on the tired side. So I just got to keep going while the energy is still here. Let's see what I can find in my drawer of stencils. And it needs to be a bigger stencil too. So let's see what we can do. It needs to be a good balance. Ooh, look at this one. Might be very fun. We'll try it. This all might work out and it might not. But I have this lovely teardrop floral from scrapbook.com. I'll link it all later. So if you guys are looking for this, you can find it. And we're going to do the same thing we did. I'm going to just put clean water on my stencil. You need a paper towel handy. We are going to flip this and we are going to kiss it down and see what we get. Hopefully I put enough water on that stencil because it does matter. Am I missing anything? Coke with a slice of lime. I love it. Okay, so I'm hoping there was enough water on here to do what we need it to do. It might work, it might not, but we are okay with that. So I will tell you already, I can tell. I can see a pattern in here, but what I did is I did not put enough water on my stencil. And I could tell as soon as I kissed it down that it was not wet enough. So if you haven't done it yet, your stencil needs to be very wet. And if you have a scrap piece of paper, don't waste what's on here because that picked up pigment, right? So go ahead, and I'm just showing you on here. Don't waste that. Stamp that down on a scrap because it's always super pretty. We don't waste. The sewing machine was punching, not punching. Was punching, not punching. I think that autocorrect is not being your friend tonight. See how pretty that is? So don't waste that. But you can see a little bit of a pattern back there. It's not exactly what I wanted, but I don't give up. I'm not a quitter. I'm going to go in with that same stencil and just use it in that area up here. Lots of water this time. And I'm just going to put it here, but not the edge because I don't want a line across it. And let's just soften some of what's going on in this corner because I'm going to put my, ooh, I love it. Yep. That is what Vicky did incorrectly. I did not put enough water on it, but this is very pretty. And I'll show you now what the plan is. Something magical happened though. Let's take a closer look. Just whoop, flatten it out a little bit. This is where if you have your Mink handy, this would be a great idea now to run it through the Mink. Oops, Vicky's making a mess everywhere. To flatten your card out. But look at, can you see where the little dots on the stencil, where there wasn't a lot of water? You can see the pattern in there. It's very pretty, very soft. So now my idea is going to be the same thing that we did last week. I am going to go in here now and we're going to see. I don't know sometimes. Will it work? I don't know. Am I going to try it? You better believe it. So guess what I'm going to do, if I can find it, is glue that die cut, the cut file that I made, onto my background. Do you guys see it? Am I blind? I just had it. And now, did I drop it on the floor? Oh, I dropped it on the floor. I see it. I love this background now. Look at that. Yay. So fun. Yes, it's auto-correcting. I love it. That happens to me all the time. And isn't it really frustrating when you, just a second, picking up my, when you go to correct it like 6 times and it still keeps auto-correcting the exact same thing over and over. So guess what we're going to do now? I'm going to glue this in place and I'm going to show you what my next idea is. What size did you cut the background? This was, Karen's out there, she'll remember. I think 4 3/4 by 6 3/4, slightly smaller than my 5x7 card base. It's okay, Janine. When you see the next step, which I'm hoping is going to work, I'm hoping that the plan I have in my head works. But let's start gluing. So, you know, Again, this is fussy, but we're going to do the things, and I'm going to quickly get my glue on here and glue this down. So let's quickly get some glue on here before it dries. Like if you have your Xyron machine, you could totally run this. I think is the size that would fit through a Xyron. But of course, I have probably 5 of them, just not right in front of me right now. Because my friend Beth Kingston used to work for Xyron, and they used to hook us up with all of that stuff. But I am not organized enough. So I'm going to get some glue. And this is a harder one, right, than what we did last week because it is small. So let's just tack down as much as we can. And without, hopefully the glue is not going to dry. Is there glue out there you guys use that has a longer open time? Card maker friends or anybody that has a good long open time? I'm just curious because this would be one of those cases where we'd need it. And I don't even have like the little glue pen or anything. Well, that's a lie. I'm sure I have probably 5 of them, but not right in front of me right now. And I'm not looking. If you're telling me and I'm missing it, you'll have to tell me again, or I'll have to go back through the comments because I'm trying to get this done before my glue dries completely on me. So it's messy, but we'll do it. We're going to get this on here. Okay, what do I need to revisit? Oh, it's not bad. Still looks wet. So let's just go for it, right? And then just kind of decide how you want it to sit on the card, because you don't really know yet what I'm going to do here. But remember, we still have oxide inks. So that is your little hint of what I'm going to do. I think now we could totally go and paint with oxides. That's my plan. And let's see, I'm hoping this is going to be awesome, but it could be ugly. We'll just go with it and see what happens. Okay. Oh, worked pretty good. Worked pretty good. The Gina K. I have Gina K ink. So is that what you're telling me? The art glitter glue for fast dry. I don't want fast dry. I want the something slower, right? But that worked okay. This is the Tombow Aqua, and I do like it. And it has the double applicator if you need like the brush applicator on the bottom. I've had this ink forever, like literally forever. But I think I have a case of it from back in the day when I worked for Scrapbook, etc. Do you guys remember that magazine with Better Homes and Gardens? Okay, get my brayer because that always will come in handy when I want the glue. This is very pretty. If you just left it like this, it's actually kind of pretty, isn't it? But we're going to do some other things, and let's hope it works. It's either going to be pretty or it's going to be stupid. But oh my goodness, this background as it dries, friends, is so pretty. Is Karen Dunbrook still out there? Are you impressed so far with my card, Karen? Because Karen Dunbrook is very much a card maker, and you guys know this doesn't happen very often, but I love now our Do the Things series where I'm doing the things I wouldn't normally do, right? It makes me very happy. It worked well though, right? Never mind. I just read it is a cut file. It's a cut file. It's on vickybooten.com. I'm doing this, and then we're going to do a quick card or a tag using stamps. So if you don't have the cut file, look at me go, Karen. And this background is really pretty. I'm quite proud of it. So now we're going to make a palette out of Distress Oxides. And I'm going to go in. So I have this idea. Before I go in with the oxide, this is what I'm going to do. Are you ready for it? I'm going to go in with clean water. And I'm going to see if I can't make this a little bit more. Lighten it up. Do you see what I'm doing there, friends? Ooh, oh, just a second. I'm going to yell, hey, Rich. I have to run for a second, friends, because my computer just died. I have to go and grab my plug, my charger. Sorry, friends. I'm like, what just happened? I can't see your comments, so give me 1 sec. I'll be right back. Oh, I hope I didn't lose you guys. I hate when I do that. Just give me a sec. I'm like, why did my laptop go black? That's what happens when you don't plug it in. So right now, I don't know if you guys are on here or not. Just a sec. Okay, give me 1 second. What a ding dong. I always think I'm so prepared, right? Try again. Just a sec. Ah, Vicky. Okay, I'm going to see if I can get you back or not, or if I ruined everything. We'll see. Well, I'll just keep working. I'm not sure if you guys are here or not, but I'm just going to add some water to soften this blue. It is not working. Oh my goodness. What a dingling. So let's see. I'm coming to check on you guys, so to see if it's still working, because my phone is still here. So I'm hoping I'm still connected, but I can't see anything, so I don't know. So let me look and see if it's still live or if I ruined all of the things. I think she lost the YouTube live. Did I lose the YouTube live, friends? Can you? Okay, I'm here. So just let me know you are here, so you can hear me. I see you on here. Oh, I think we're okay. Let me check. Enter broadcast studio. Okay, I'm back. Can everybody see me? Oh, good. Thank you, friends. I turn and look at my laptop and it's gone black. And so we're back. I can see you guys. Thank you. Sorry about that. Like I said, I need, what do you call it? The crew who like helps you with the, when you're going live or whatever. Or I need an audio crew, the whole bit, because somebody would have said, Vicky, don't forget to plug your laptop in. So good. I'm glad that it was set up separately on my phone, so I didn't totally lose you. So what I was doing was just diluting the pigment inside the flower, and I'm going to go in there and color now in oxide. And I'm hoping, because it is more of an opaque paint, that we can get a really fun technique using some oranges, because it'll be a nice contrast to the blue on here. So thank you. Sorry for that, friends. My computer died, but I am very glad that it's still working. So, and that you, production crew, that's what I need, Patty. Do you want to come over? Be my production crew? What a dingbat. Not you, Patty, obviously, Vicky. So glad it all worked. So we're good. Sorry about that little technical difficulty. It's because I think God thought I was getting a little bit too cocky, and he said, no, Vicky, I'm going to just bring you down a couple notches. You don't have this computer stuff all worked out just yet. So here's the important thing. If you are new to the Distress inks, I'm going in now with oxide. You could try, if you don't have oxides, go ahead and try this with Distress ink. You will not get the same effect, and I'll tell you why. The Distress oxide is a fusion ink that is both dye base and pigment base, so it is more opaque. So when I go to paint with this, it is, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, yes, I need a Mario, is going to make an opaque layer of orange on top of the blue. So I'm very excited about this. So let's give it a try. Let's see what happens. And hopefully I don't make too much brown, but we're going to try it. So I have some different colors. I'm going in with a palette that is just totally not what I normally would use, but hey, why not? So I'm going to go in and I'm going to start with, I think, some of the wild honey and the spice marm. I'm going to just put it down. Let's just paint with all of it, right? So Nuvo does have fusion pads. I did not know that. So I'm just going to kiss some pigment down, and this is going to be my palette that I'm going to paint with. I will need to grab a green to do the leaves in, but we're not there yet, so we'll get there. Crackling Campfire is one of the newer colors. Ooh, so nice. Let's give it a try. You're drinking strawberry guava Diet Coke. I love that. Yeah, it's hard to find. You found it at Sobeys. Very lucky. I have some of that in the fridge as well. But any of those flavored ones, really hard to find, right? So let's give this a try. Wish me luck. I'm hoping that I'm going to go in. Ooh, let's do this one. So this one here, again, I'll put my palette here so you guys can see, is the wild honey. Okay, so I'm going to go in and start just depositing. It's going to be fun. Look at this already, friends. Watch you don't get too much on your black, though. Oop, like I just brushed it on there. So let's take that up a bit. And we might have to dry a little bit between layers, but I think this is going to be a very fun technique. And I cannot wait to share it with my friend Tim Holtz. I think he will like this. Very fun, friends. So you want to make sure your brush is a little bit of a detail brush. This has a really nice tip on it, so I'm able to get into some of these areas. But I'm just going to go in here, put down some of this oxide. I will dry the layer, and then I will build some more pigment because it is going to pick up some of the blue and make a green, but I'm okay with that. So let's go in. Oops, get that off of my black in the middle. In there, maybe a little. And let's dry this and see what we get. What do you think, Karen Dunbrook? Look at me making cards. I don't need to bake it. I just don't want all that water there, okay? So let's just keep going in here. Try not to get it on our black. We are going to layer to create depth. So I'm just going in with my first layer of pigment. And this is all right now. The only color I'm using right at this point is Wild Honey Distress Oxide. And then we can go in with some other colors after. Okay, and I'm going to dry. And let's go in with a little bit more. Let's see what happens when, oh yes, see, it's going to layer beautifully, friends. Very much loving this technique. You know, sometimes you sit down and you have an idea in your head, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And I have to say that I am totally digging this. Get my paper towel. Try to keep it off the black. Now, I'll tell you something. There's things we could have done. So we could take, like now, because this is really how I learn things. So If I would have taken this whole die cut and if I would have painted it with some matte medium, then it would resist the ink and I could be wiping it off of the cardstock. What, gotta watch my sleeves. I got bat wings tonight. But I still think I can come in here after and just wet it and I will be able to bring the black back up to the top. Look how fun this is so far though. Super fun technique, right? So let's add a little bit more and I'm just going to keep painting here, friends. So love it. Oh, so this is what I have to say. I come on here some Friday nights and I'm tired and I'm like, oh my goodness, I wish I could just go to bed. I'm going to do this because I know that people are going to be there and this is super helpful to a lot of people that are living alone or maybe just need to get together with friends. And then I get here, I start doing the stuff and I am over the moon happy. But yes, so now do you see, this is really showing you what these oxides, how they're different than regular distress ink, right? So see what's happening here? It's still pulling some of that blue in the background, but I'm okay with that. I'm really digging it. And that's the reason I went down with the more yellow layer first, because that will not make mud, because yellow and blue will make green. And then I can go like maybe that's starting to form a little bit of a layer. So when I go in with the orange, it's not going to pull all that blue, right? I love it. Could you use a vinyl cutout? You sure could, Poppy. You sure could. Now for me, unless the vinyl was matte, wouldn't be my jam, but sure you could. There's no reason, right? So I'm just going to keep adding. Clean your brush too if you start pulling a lot of green, so that you're not like working that green all in your flower, right? Because I know this area up here, I did not put any white in, so it's a lot more green or turquoisey. So just want to watch that. And now I'm going to go in. I'm going to be brave, and I'm going to go in now. The next color I'm going to go in with is, I think this one is Carved Pumpkin, and I'm going to try it. Why not? Let's see. So wish me luck. I'm hoping it's not going to make a lot of mud, but I don't think it is because we put that other layer down first. So I hope you guys can see this. Oh, my arm and stuff isn't in your camera angle. So just going to tap some orange in that. Not going to work it around in the paint too much so it doesn't pull too much of the greeny blue. Tap that in. Let's see what happens down on this one. But like I said, I'm tapping the color in. I'm not going to brush it around too much so I don't blend the color underneath. I want this to just kind of lay on top. Dry it. I am very, very happy as well, Cheryl Sue, with how this is turning out. Like better than I could have hoped for. I have to say, I had it in my head. I knew tonight what I wanted to come in and do. And like I said, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But I have to say that it's kind of magical when it turns out even better than you had hoped for. So I'm just tapping color in there. Okay, just tapping it into that yellow. I don't want to cover up all of my wild honey. So let's just go in, leave some of that wild honey, bringing in a little bit of carved pumpkin. I believe that's what's up in that corner, and we'll see. It is carved pumpkin. I can just tell how the color's separating there. Let's bring that up. This is going to take a little while. Sorry, friends. I can't paint this too fast. But I think it's worth it. turning out really pretty. And even if I don't get a chance to finish on camera the one with the stamps, it's the same idea. What I'm doing here, the only difference is it won't have a thick black frame. I'm just going to paint in the stamped images, and I will do it so you see it. I just don't know if we'll do it on camera because I don't know how long this is going to take. It is a magic moment, right, Karen? Like this is, oh, I'm very happy with this. I'm going to put some more wild honey down because I'm going to tap it on top again. So I'm going back to wild honey. See how wet that brush is? Take most of that moisture out. So just do a little wicking in your paper towel. And then I'm going to go in there and tap that over to blend out a little bit of that carved pumpkin. It's a little oranger then. I want it all over. So tap some of that in because we have a little bit of a green thing going on here. So, oops, I almost went into a whole different color. Let's pull a little bit more. Yes, I love this. So now I'm going to go in. I'm not even cleaning my brush. And this is Spice Marmalade. And let's just pull some of that in here. Oh, it's very pretty. It's kind of a mix, a blend between the two. Losing some of the crispness of my black, which I don't want. Love this. So friends, you could totally do what we're doing here on a layout. It does not have to be a card if cards are not your jam, right? You could totally do this on a layout. This exact same technique. Do whatever makes you happy. I'm going to go in now with a little bit of that Crackling Campfire in the middle of my rose bud. All right, just kind of pull that color through. I'm going to come back through with another light color. It is now, do you see as we're going in here that we're getting way more opacity as we're layering, like that, those first layers of color. And the less water you use, the more vibrant the color. So I'm going to go back in now and revisit all of this with my wildflower or wild honey. And I'm going to blend that color. So I'm blending my colors with the wild honey. You're way late. It's okay though, Sarah, right? These are recorded. So even if you are late, you will still be able to see what I was up to tonight. And I have to say, probably one of my favorites I've done in a long time. So even if you didn't see from the beginning and you want to watch, it will be worth it. Anybody agree? I think this is really fun how this turned out. Now it's starting to go a little bit more opaque than I want. So guess what I'm going to do? I am going to take just clean water and blend my pigment. So I'm softening all of it with brush stroke of clean water, no ink. It's brightening it up a little bit. The rose is a little dirty, right? So you could definitely have come in here in purples if you want to. Watch, you don't pill. I can see the paper starting to pill a little bit. Whatever color palette you want. Because like I find that Crackling Campfire, not my favorite on here with the green. Only because it's a little deeper than I would normally go. let's see what colors. You're going to laugh. So I'm going crazy. I'm going to see what happens if I throw a little Kish Flamingo in here. I'm going to put a little pink in. It's either going to make a mess or it's going to be really pretty. And let's test it with my card. But I want to tie some of this pink because I feel like now there's too much of this orange going on. Let's see what happens if we bring in a little pink to soften. And let's get in the middle of that. Love it. It's what it needed. It's toning down that. I would say if you guys haven't got there, skip the Crackling Campfire. I think that it's too earthy for our color palette. Okay, it's a little earthy. So I'm going to go in with a little bit more of that. Kitsch Flamingo, tapping it in there. Maybe a little bit more of the wildflower and honey. I keep wanting to say wild honey. Take some of that green down right there. And I'm going to come in now and do some accent color. Do you notice I'm brushing all over because I can't get in there, and then do this there. Oh, it's very pretty, friends. So let's try that. Not my normal. Maybe abandoned coral instead of Crackling Campfire. Yes, like it's still pretty. Don't get me wrong. And let's see what happens when we dry this a little bit. But with that green coming through, I wasn't completely digging it. But I am going to, and I'll even try with a Sharpie. I will make my rose a little blacker, but it is very pretty. But sometimes, right, it's a good idea to just stop. But now that I dried that, I'm going to see if putting a little bit of, yeah, I think that'll work. Dry your layer, because if you keep trying to build on wet, it is only going to pill your paper. So watch, I'm going to put a little bit more. Oh yeah, digging that. So now that that layer's dry, I'm going in again with the wild honey, and that is making the world of a difference. It's brightening up my rose. Totally digging that. Do you see it? Totally need to dry between your layers. And now I'm able to go in here and brighten this whole thing up now with this last layer of pigment. Putting it in the middle. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Love that. Oh, Mr. Holtz, just keep coming out with new colors of this amazing Distress inks. Or Distress products, period, right? I'm totally loving it. Look, that made a difference. Do you guys see it? Because for a second there, that orange just of the Crackling Campfire really took this card over. And now I find that that just made it pretty and soft. Dry it. Oh, so pretty. Look at that, friends. Take a look at that. I love it. So now let's pick a green to do our leaves. And then I have to I'm going to do some kind of real, I'm going to grab a good dark pink. Oh, friends, can you still see me? Now I'm having a Wi-Fi issue. Oh, my goodness. I don't know if you guys can still see me, but my Wi-Fi connection just kicked out. So if tonight is just the night of all nights, right? I don't know what's going on. So give me a second. Let's see what I can do here. Let's see what the family comes down, because somebody's going to come and tell me. So I don't know if it's still working because it's on my phone or not, but I can't see comments or anything, friends. But it might have kicked in. It looks like it's still working on my phone. So I'm Can you see me? Am I back? Sorry, friends. This is not my night. The connection just dropped out. So if you guys are still here, I'm still here. So can you hear me? Can you see me? Weird. It's back. Yes. Sorry. Totally Wi-Fi shut off in the house. So I'm still here. I probably lost a lot of you, but that is modern technology, right? But yes, I'm back. Yay. So let me see. I got to mute this. I have to mute one of these. Can you still hear me? Because I don't want to make you go deaf. So just help me out here so I make sure all is good. You can hear me. No need to apologize if stuff happens, but people will get mad at me. But is anyone here from YouTube anymore? Or Oh, good. So there's a couple of you. So yes, the Wi-Fi shut off, and I could hear, because that means the boy upstairs ran to check it because he was probably gaming as well. So we're back. I'm just going to move a little faster now because now I'm nervous. Like, what's going on tonight with the Wi-Fi's? So I'm going to clean these colors off, and we're going to go in with our green and pink. So thank you for sticking around. I lost a lot of you because it just literally went black, and the Wi-Fi was dead on my computer. But I kept shutting it off and turning it on again, and I was able to get it back. So yay. So love this. I'm going to leave that flower alone. I will buff this area of black to bring it back, but I'm okay if it looks a little kind of muted. It's really pretty. And now I'm going to go in with a bright green for the leaves. But you know what? I have this idea. So what are your thoughts here? I don't know if I want to use oxide on the leaves because I really like kind of those speckles of blue showing. So I don't know, but I'm going to go in with pink in the berries. So I'm going to just turn around and let me grab some oxide in a pink. I have festive berries. I'm going to go with pick raspberry though. I want to stick with a bright pink. Okay. So thank you for sticking around. That was a little craziness. I don't know what happened, but I'm still here. The conversations were still going, so you stayed on. I'm glad, April. I lost a couple, but a lot of you are still here, and then people can come back and find it if they happen to check tomorrow. So picked raspberry in oxide, that's what's going in the berries. It will be here, right? What a nightmare. But it happens, right? Nothing you can do when you lose your internet connection. So I'm going to tap some of that into these berries, but maybe just kind of on the side so I can still see a hint of the color underneath. We will see how this goes, and I'll dry this layer. And we'll see what that looks like. Actually, I'm going to take that and look at that craziness because it's too wet. I am wicking most of the pigment or water out, and I'm going to go in again now where that kind of first layer went down and it made a really pretty light pink. And then I am shading it with a second layer of the oxide. I might even throw a little bit of that in the flower. Hello, Carrie. How are you? You're getting ready for tomorrow's classes. Well, this will be fun for you to catch up on after. I have to say, probably one of my favorite results, what we came up with tonight. Really fun how this turned out. I'm putting some of this pink in here, friends, because I'm digging that. So let's pull a little bit of that in over our orange. Just a hint. Because I'm kind of thinking, oh, look at that, brighten it up a little. Love it. Probably one of my favorite ever lives. Look at that pink, friends. Made a difference. And I'm going to soften the lines a little bit where they blended. See right here, just going to soften that a bit. So it doesn't just look like a polka dot of color. Love that. It's exactly what it needed, a little bit of that pink. Let's go in and color the rest of the berries. Right, Karen? Not too much though, because you don't want it to be too even toned all over, but let's Go in here, take some of that out. So yes, for my friends that were at Crop and Create the card event, very fun. I'm going to dry that. Look at that nice purple I'm getting there. And then we'll put another layer on top. Pick that up. I need to put some down. Is it because it is dried or the dabbing that keeps from blending with the underneath color? The oxide has created a barrier layer. So what I'm blending with after I dry between layers is actually only the color that the next color is going on top of. Does that make sense? It's no longer reacting with the blue because that blue has now been covered. I hope that makes sense. So, and these berries are going to be a whole different color because there's a lot more blue. But if I want them to be pinker and pinker and pinker, I just keep layering this ink, drying it, and putting it on top. But the other thing that's going to happen is it's also going to go more opaque. And you might not want that opacity. And I actually am digging the color that I have right now. So I'm probably going to leave it alone right there. Kind of digging that, right? And now I'm going to pick a green and I'm going to go in with something very bright. I'm thinking a very bright. Do I have any green oxides? Oh, no. So I lied though. I'm going to put one more dab of that pink. Love that. So now the color looks a little closer. Okay. Going to clean this up. Hello, Kari. How are you? Magic happened tonight. Magic happened. I am so excited. So what do you guys think? Who's been here from the beginning? Are you kind of surprised where I'm very surprised where we have gotten to at this point. Not surprised in that I'm surprised that we could make something pretty. Surprised more in the result we're getting. So look at, I think mowed lawn will be fun. And then I want something very bright. I don't want dirty. Let's see. We'll try it. I might go with this. What do you think about that? Only because you know me, and it's getting a little earthier than what I would like. So I'm thinking if I go with this, the brighter color. I don't know. Are you guys surprised? Like, I'm really very excited with where this has gone tonight. Very excited that this really pretty technique has happened. So love it. Twisted Citron's what I'm going to start with. And the mowed lawn, I think, will still be bright and fresh green. And I think, oh, I love this. There are so many steps in this, though, when you say craziness has happened. But look at that really yummy yellowy green. And then when we go in with, oh, yeah, with the mowed lawn. And because it's mostly blue in here, we're going to get some, I think, fun results. So let's see what we get. Let's start. Oh, yeah. Let's see. It could be good. It could be bad. But that's what Friday nights are all about, right? So let's start painting some of that in on this leaf here. Oh, I'm loving the contrast. And I'm loving that I can still see my pretty ocean effect going on underneath. I hope that, because doing this, I have all these ideas are going through my head of other things that I want to try. And I'm hoping that's happening for you. So we are going to revisit the things that are popping into my brain tonight, next week. So we're going to be taking what we did. So I would say, friends, this week, what you're going to want to do for homework, because this is going to be a real homework week. I want you to make some layered backgrounds with the first part of what we did tonight. Oh my goodness, look at this beautiful stained glass effect. I want you to make backgrounds with layers, 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 and all these polka dots, and then keep them nice and fresh and ready for me for next week. Because we are going to, because this takes so long to do that first part, right? Where we did all of the kissing and the layering. No oxide. I want you to do backgrounds with just Distress ink. And then we are going to revisit it next week for the new layer that I have, the new idea I have that's kind of swimming around in my head. Oh my goodness, you could leave it like that. Very pretty. And I'm just going to elevate it, do one little thing. And I know I'm going back in here with some picked raspberry. I just know it already. I have a question about your Let's Wander tag kit. Did you do a YouTube class or just Storyteller? I did not do for Let's Wander, just for Storyteller. But you could use it and pretty much copy the technique and do that. But no, I didn't. I only did it for... I don't think I did. Did I, guys? I don't remember. I don't think I did. Right, Carrie? This is so much highlights how they are different. Beautiful. Thank you, Jenna. That means a lot coming from you. I'm glad that, because you know I'm not generally. Water that down, friends. Did you see what just happened when you go in with your second layer to brighten up some of that green? Because we put the oxide down, it has created a barrier, so you're going to have a lot more opacity. So just make sure that you don't go in too heavy with this mowed lawn. So I'm just trying to come in here and highlight, or actually just add a little bit of shadow, but I don't want too much of it because I'm losing the pretty blue dots underneath that I'm kind of really digging. Okay. So pretty. So get ready for next week is going to be elevating what we learn so far. Or do I leave that for the fourth week? I don't know, but I do want you to make some backgrounds. I love this. You know what this looks like to me? Stained glass. I would say this is almost a stained glass technique. But what I want you to do is a whole bunch of different backgrounds of just kissing, kissing, kissing layer with just regular distress. Because things I've learned as I'm going through here that I like is that it is actually kind of fun when you have, like, this is a little darker now what I see is happening here. I kind of like that. So if you're just starting and you've watched all the way through and you haven't actually made, watch you don't put too many layers on here. Don't put the Crackling Campfire on. I'd say don't do that. Because although it's created some depth, some really nice rusty rosiness depth underneath there, I am totally loving this. And I'm going to say know when to stop. And let's make the card. So I actually have something to show for tonight, right? So what we need to do, if you're just watching this, is I think stained glass for multiple reasons. The thickness of the Cutfile looks like the lead in a stained glass. I really want that to be blacker, but I'll figure that out. I'll go in with a Sharpie if I have to. Let's see what happens. So will Vicky ruin this right now, or will she make it better? Let's see. Let's just test that one area. Yep, that totally will work. You just got to be very careful you don't draw out off of your... So now I know how to fix it. I'll just show you this area. I just happen to have a Sharpie sitting there. So go over in black marker any areas that you really have lost the black, because it makes a difference. So let me show you, okay? I will show you here where you can see half of it done and not the other half. You need to bring the black back to the top. because that really makes a difference with the milkiness I was finding with the oxide. So let me show you. So see where I've colored with that black? I haven't down here, but I have up here. I find it needs it. See right here, watch. Yes. See, we can find solutions for anything. I'm always nervous, so will the ink be too shiny on the matte? Matteness of the cardstock, but it's working. Totally will do that. Because now, like, look at, do you see? Doesn't that make it much brighter now to make the black actually true black? Anybody noticing that? I like it. I'm glad I did that. I think that made a difference. I love so much how the flower just seems to glow. Thank you. Yeah, I think it looks really pretty on here, right? So let's flatten this card base out a little bit, because I could run this through my silhouette still, not my silhouette, pardon me, my mink, and flatten it, or put it under some heavy books, but I think it'll be okay. Let's see, are we still gonna like it on the yellow? I don't know. What do you think? Do we like it on the yellow? Would it be better on black? I think it gets lost on that, don't you? I don't know if I like that now. It might pop. Do I have black cardstock? I'm going to steal it. I have it out of this kit. Sorry, I must steal it so we can see. Don't you think it needs to go on black? Do you guys agree? Black makes it pop. Okay, I agree with you. Black it is. So friends who don't, I'm going to show you, because I'm not going to do it tonight, but okay, it's time. Vicky's going to start twitching if I don't clean up my mess a little bit now. And these we don't throw away, because this is magic just waiting to happen. We still have to do our class where we do the paper towel art. So don't throw this away, because that is just beautiful, right? We can make some really pretty things out of that. So we'll move it aside. We're cleaning up our area because now we are going to make the card. I am very happy, and thank you so much, you ladies who and guys that have popped back over now. How did your classes go at Crop and Create card making? What is the actual proper name? Crop and Create? Kari, what is it called? Crop and Create cards, right? Or card making, stamping, what is it? So I'm going to cut this at 7 inches. Did you guys have fun tonight? By 10 inches. Made rainbow cards with Kathy Z. I love it. I love Kathy. And how did your keynote with Jennifer McGuire go? Good friend, love her too, love them both. So I'm just going to use my paintbrush quickly. Ooh, don't use your paintbrush when all the paint's coming off of it. Okay, Vicky, let's use this pen without the pen out. Hope for the best. Yes, I'm sure you guys had an awesome event so far, and it will be good all weekend. Crop and Create. Card making delivered. Thank you. Jennifer McGuire. Tears, of course. Yes, she's so good. Okay, let's make my card base. Look at me, even making cards on your commencement night. So I'm celebrating with you with scrapbooking cards today. Magazine is 15, right? It's his 15th birthday. And I have been with the magazine forever, so that is quite the accomplishment. Very, very proud of Catherine and all that she's accomplished. Okay, there's my base. Good enough for now. And look, and you see what I'm saying, right? My daughter just came in, and she had best come down here and talk to me. That makes a difference, friends, to go over that. All that milkiness that from the oxides. We'll pop that out. It ties the black end of the base now. So I will play with that a little bit more, but loving this. Loving it. Had an amazing time. Can't wait to finish this. Thank you. Are you heading off now, Janine? So much fun. Jennifer McGuire was awesome. She is awesome. So very excited over this, what happened tonight. So we made this background, Leander. And then we painted in the die cut, the Cutfile. This is a little wonky, but do you guys find that when you do like mixed media cards, is that okay that the background is a little wonk? I think so, right? I'll put, I'm going to put foam squares on here. And then we'll put just our card sentiment. Because you know, when I do these, I go pretty simple. So we'll do it. We're going to do the things. I'm very happy with how this turned out. Thank you for joining me. I'm almost done because I know, like, what is it, 10:17? Holy crap, Vicky. But let's just do this. Maybe I might not finish it tonight because I might try to let this flatten out a bit. But just to give you an idea, this is where I'm going. So I'm going to put this down on here like this. I love it. And then I have some card sentiments. Wonky is fine. Just adhere well with double-sided tape. I will. I will put some more on there so it balances out. But I have this awesome set of card sentiments. So I feel like, I think I'm going to play with this and I will post it tomorrow because I don't want to rush my decision, but very happy with how this turned out. We have all these other leftover backgrounds, right, friends? So I want to talk to you about what I would do if you don't have the access to a Cutfile. Remember, we have this background, and I would take these. So I have and I'm going to do this, and I will share it with after. I would take these, stamp, and heat emboss in black. So stamp your flowers with embossing ink, add black embossing powder and heat set it and do the exact same technique. So I'm going to do that and I will share it with you and I will post it at some point this weekend. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to stamp and I created some masks, right? So I can stamp a pattern up my card and I'm going to emboss it in black embossing powder to show you guys that you can still do the technique I did even if you don't have the Cutfile. Okay, the heavier the lines in your stamp would be awesome, but I think it's going to look really pretty. So very excited, very excited. It's only 8 where you are. And homework for this, I'm going to flip the camera, okay, friends? So just a second. I'm going to give you a close-up look of this. I'm going to take lots of pictures when I post it tomorrow. But look at how that turned out. So we did all of the kissing and stencil stamping with water for the background. Lots and lots of layers of delicious Distress ink. And then we went through and painted this week inside of the Cutfile with oxide ink. And look at how they blended so beautifully by just going in with different colors and clean water. And you have a more opaque finish in the center of the flower, but the leaves have more of kind of a stained glass effect, which has given me an awesome idea for next week. So I'm going to flip the camera around. Don't leave just yet. I'll talk to you in 1 second. I'm almost done. Debbie's here. Say hi, Deb.
Hi.
Okay. Want to come on camera with me?
No, I look bad. I just got from forward.
Okay. So let me flip. Yay. Let's see. Add to the stream. Just a second. Here. Oh, Vicky's having trouble. Dev, I'm having trouble. Just give me a second, friends. I swear. I want single screen. Why is this not working? I'm having trouble, Dev. Add to stream. Okay, will it work? Oh my goodness.
Aren't you muted?
No, I'm not, because the mic's on my...
Oh.
Nothing's working.
Why don't you just...
What? Did it work?
Well, it's on your face, isn't it?
No.
Oh.
Oh, what a hot mess. Important audio was removed. I know that. Got it. I am still here. Nothing works for me tonight. This laptop. It's frozen, isn't it?
Because like
Laptop.
Well, even the comments aren't even coming in. Unless it's just frozen.
Oh my goodness, friends.
See?
It's back again. It is. We were good for a second. I am just not having any luck tonight. I think that my the whole screen's black now.
Maybe.
Oh,
there you go.
Oh, I'm here. We're just going with it. Like it is tonight. It's actually not me. And why there it is. Hello, friends. Don't touch anything, Dev. I'm afraid the whole thing's just going to blow up on me.
Uh-oh. Does that mean?
No,
Can I hear you?
No, we're good. Don't.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Stop helping. Okay, thank you so much tonight, guys. What I want to let you know is do some homework this week. Try to make a couple more of the backgrounds just using Distress ink, regular Distress ink, no oxides. And we're going to elevate that next week in a really fun way. She keeps touching things. She's giving me a heart attack. She wants to read the comments. Tears of joy for you. Sonia, what happened? With great news for Sonia. I missed it. So yes, you can sign up for the newsletter to get more info for the classes. Thank you, Natalie, on VickyBooten.com. Devin is really upset if she can't see the comments, so we have to just keep doing it. This was a lot of fun tonight, a little earthier than what I would normally make, but really, really, Sonia's cancer-free. Hallelujah. Congratulations, Sonia. That is amazing, amazing news. My VBoo crew friend. That is excellent. I am so happy for you. Good news, right? We need some good news. So that's great. That's worth congratulating. That's worth celebrating. I'm tired now, right, at this point. But thank you so much. This was a lot of fun. Make sure you do your homework so that next week we can elevate this and do something even more awesome. But love how this turned out. Love that you guys joined me even through all of my technical difficulties tonight. The laptop died. The Wi-Fi shut off. And then this didn't work either, right? Can we still purchase the online class for pages only? I'm not sure what that one is. But here, you guys can leave if you don't want to hear this. But update on class kits, because color study, we know the class isn't until May, so we have lots of time for that to ship. Everyone knows that that was a pre-order. What I do want you to know, Devin, can you hand me, see that stack of right there at the back of that stack?
This?
Yeah, I need, can't find it, just like this one. Okay, if you're shopping and you see this and you did not order the color study kit, you want to buy this as soon as you see it. I'm just going to let you know now, it's sold out. It is reordered, but completely sold out. You want, if you love this one for color study, buy it. As I meant to tell you that tonight. So glad that I thought of that. Totally sold out. You are going to want to buy it. You still can do the classes. Yes, that class access is still available. For color study, a lot of you guys have emailed me and asked me, will there be access only for people who live in England or somewhere where you can't access a kit and you're buying your own product? Yes, there will be access only to the classes, but not until closer to the classes because I haven't even made the class sample yet because the product is just rolling in. Amy Tan kit is coming. We've kitted most of it, but we're missing a couple of papers and the thickers. They're coming on Thursday. I will make the sample. It will be added. Disney will be added. And then I need, you can wait for me for 1 minute, little
He's
girl.
on the driveway.
And then the next kit, the vintage cottage, not vintage cottage. Is it vintage cottage? I just forgot. Nat, is that what that line is called? It will be coming as well. All the stuff is rolling in and I just need more hours in the day. So it's all coming. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. As always, you made my night even better. I came in here just tired and exhausted and really excited that we made some magic tonight. Magic happened. So if you're watching just at the end and you didn't see it from the beginning, you definitely want to watch the whole video because it was awesome. But yes, this thicker sold out. So even some of your pre-orders, you may not get it. They way under ordered this one. It all sold out. So at least I got it for the kits. Thank goodness. So I got what I needed from the order, but you might not be able to find it. So thank you so much. You made my night. If you're watching after the fact, please still comment and let me know where you're watching from. And let me know if you got as excited over this one as I did. Next week, we are going to use those backgrounds and we're going to do something magical with it. I don't know yet. Because that one, normally we do kind of mini book, art journal, but it might be just a full background. I don't know. I was so excited tonight. Something magical is going to happen next week. I can just feel it. So thanks so much. Have a great weekend. And we'll see you later, guys. So thank you. I have to end the broadcast and for reals now. So have a great weekend and we will see you on socials all week and then back here again at 8 p.m. Eastern time next Friday. See you guys later. Have a great weekend. And broadcast.